Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Christine Robertson, Vice President and Chief of Staff for the Eastern Minority Supplier Development Council. We are one of 23 affiliates of the National Minority Supplier Development Council, one of the country's leading corporate membership organizations. The MSDC service territory includes the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, all of Delaware, and Southern New Jersey. We certify minority businesses and provide programs and services to help build their capacity and capabilities, with the goal of connecting them to meet the needs of our corporate member organizations that are comprised of public and privately owned companies, as well as healthcare companies, colleges, and universities. We are pleased to be the host today and that you chose to check out the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. It's a great program, and many of your peers have already gone through the program. Our council president, Valerie Cofield, did so as well for the benefit of our council. Before I introduce our speaker, I need to go over a few housekeeping tips. If you have questions during the session, and I know you will, our presenters will be happy to provide answers. Please raise your hand or put your questions in the chat. We'll be monitoring the chat, and we'll also leave time for Q&A at the end. The session will be recorded and shared with everyone. So with that, I'd like to introduce today's presenter, Valerie Schlitt. Valerie is an accidental entrepreneur who never looked back. She launched VSA Prospecting 20 years ago, and in 2016, participated and graduated from cohort 10 of the 10K SB program in Philadelphia. She credits the program with helping her finally work on the business, not in the business. By delegating and enhancing the leadership of the team, taking on 2 significant pieces of business, and developing and implementing a successful growth plan. Valerie is proud to be the recipient of many awards, including 3-time placement in the Inc. 5000 and one of Philadelphia's most admired CEOs for 2020, which she attributes to her participation in the 10K SB program. Valerie, thanks for being here. The time is yours.
It's great. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. And I'm really delighted to share with you about the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. The program has been around for 12 years and has helped over 12,000 small businesses. And I'm one of them, as we just heard. So my company is VSA. I am based in Southern New Jersey. And as Christine just said, I graduated from the program in 2016. Since graduating, our company's revenues have grown 785%. We opened a second office in Philadelphia, and we have increased our employee base by 80. But I'm just one of the many, many success stories coming out of the Goldman Sachs program, and I'm going to share some others with you during this presentation, during this information session. So I had heard about the Goldman Sachs program several times, maybe 3 or 4 times, before I was at an info session just like this one, except it was not virtual, it was real live in those days. I was at an info session just like this one when I made the decision to pull the trigger and actually apply for the Goldman Sachs program. And I'm inviting all of you to do the same thing when you are off this call, when you can be comfortable sitting at a computer, because I want you to have the same benefits that I had. And it's free. So right now we're accepting applications for cohort 26, and that starts in January. It runs until April, and the deadline for those applications is October 1st. Now you might think, oh my goodness, what's happening with COVID? Is this, should I hunker down? Should I protect my business? Should I not take any risks? Well, I believe that we should always be thinking ahead and looking ahead and positioning our business to be strong, whether it's through a pandemic or for when we were out of a pandemic. We should always be looking at how do we drive our businesses successfully forward. And so now is the time. There's no better time than now to apply and to join the Goldman Sachs program. And plus there will be some emphasis on how to navigate COVID. Why am I delivering this info session to you? Well, the Community College of Philadelphia is where the Goldman Sachs program is hosted in our region. And when they found themselves without in need of an interim outreach team, they hired my company. And why did they do that? They did that because they knew me, they trusted me, they knew what my company did, and just the fact that I am an alumni was an added bonus. But it's really not surprising that I'm doing work with the Goldman Sachs community, because the Goldman Sachs graduates do business with each other. When you graduate, you will have a built-in additional network of 12,000 small businesses across the country that want to do business with each other. And that's one of the great benefits. But there's so many more, and I am going to share many of them with you. So we are going to do introductions in a moment, but let me just share with you what today's session is going to look like. So I'm going to share my screen. So today we're going to start with some introductions when I'm finished the screen, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the program itself, what you can expect from it, what the eligibility criteria is, who the participants are, and what the curriculum looks like. Then I'll not share my screen anymore, and I'll answer questions. So save up those questions, put them in the chat. Any question is good. And then we'll share the screen again, and you'll see the website where you can apply. But I'll give that to you right now. It's www.10ksbapply.com. So I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to do, how many people do we have on here at this point? I can't see everybody.
We have 8.
Oh, that's perfect. All right. I'm going to try to do gallery view so I can see everyone. Good. So what I'm going to do is go in order of people being on my screen and ask you, if you just make an introduction, tell me the name of your company, the name of your company, a little bit about what your company does, and then why you're interested in the 10,000 Small Businesses program. And you're going to hear me go back and forth between 10KSB, 10,000 Small Businesses, and the Goldman Sachs Foundation, Goldman Sachs program. They're all the same. So what I'm going to do this time, which is different than what I normally do, is I'm going to introduce Amy first. Amy's from my team, BSA team. And lots of times I'll go through everyone else, go to the next slide, and forget Amy. So let me start with Amy.
Thanks, Valerie. So I'm Amy Stevens, and I work with Valerie directly at BSA Prospecting, and also very honored to be a member of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Program outreach team. I can be your day-to-day contact for anything you need on the program. If you'd like some information to schedule, please feel free to contact me at any time, and I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Great, Amy. So then what I typically do is just the order here. And so I have, well, Christine, I don't know if you want to say anything else, but I have, do you want to say anything else?
No, I think I'm
Okay. Is Valerie Cofield or whoever that is there?
I apologize. Valerie Cofield is not present today, but the Valeries that you see are using her account. Apologize.
Okay, so the first Valerie, one of the Valeries should say hi and then give us your name, because it just says Valerie. So I don't know which one to say is first. One has the name host, and one just has Eastern Minority Supplier Development.
Hi, this is Meg Markley, the Director of Administrative Services. I'm just usually behind the scenes making sure the technology is running smoothly, but thank you.
Oh, okay, great. Well, thank you for your help here.
Yeah, no problem. My name is Brittany Rivera. I am the accounting manager for Eastern Minority Supplier Development Council, and I am here for technical support as well. And I'm a support to our executives.
Wonderful. Okay, great. I have April next.
Yep, sorry, I had to unmute. My name is April Torrens. I am the Vice
President of Business Development for NIU, which is Hawaiian for coconut. And it is a low sugar, low calorie, tropical drink beverage. And the CEO of the company happens to be my 17-year-old daughter, Cynthia Torrance, who cannot be here because she's in school right now. She's a senior. However, we are definitely interested in the 10,000 small business cohort because I want her to be able to learn as much as she can within the arena of business development. And in addition to that, she started a business incubator at the age of 12. So a lot of things she's already been, yeah, she's been schooled with a lot of information on marketing and e-commerce and things of that caliber. However, I'm hoping that through Goldman Sachs, she could learn more innovative approaches to expanding her brand.
Wonderful. I forgot to say that I'm going to be using my phone to keep us on track. And we can go a little bit off the 30 seconds because we don't have that many people to introduce. But thank you so much. And I think that's really, really cool. I have Pearl next.
I'm sorry, Pearl. Oh, yes, my name is Pearl Velasquez, and I am the Executive Project Manager for Cameron and Associates 8. We're a certified minority general construction and supply firm that's been in business 7 years now. We have 3 different locations. We also service Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. And we have 3 divisions here at Cameron. We're a general contractor services is one of our divisions. Then we have supplies, and we have building maintenance and property management. I'm here representing Cameron to learn more on the business development side. For me, I know Pat, I don't know if she's here today. I'm not sure because I can't see who joined.
I need to ask you to to move on to, you're here to learn about business development from the program?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, the Goldman Sachs program addresses all aspects of business, so that's great. And it sounds like you have a terrific business there. I have Renee next. Oops.
Hello, everyone. This is Renee Smith. I'm President and CEO of DHC Management Group, which is a property management and real estate development firm. I'm joining the call because I'm interested in learning more about what the program offers and how it can benefit my company in terms of business development and in particular, going after federal contracts.
Okay. I think you'll get something out of the program.
Thank you.
I have Roberta next.
Good afternoon. I am Roberta Alford, and I am the Managing Director of Strategy for Maven Incorporated. And what Maven does is, in addition to lobbyist type functions, we are mainly involved in engagement and outreach between the small business community and larger firms. So I'm here because, of course, we need to be able to provide support to the small business community. And it's important that we understand ways that we can help them and guide them.
Oh,
so I'm
great.
looking forward to it.
Great. I have Sharon next.
Hello, I am Sharon Menker. I am the National Supplier Diversity Manager for AmeriHealth Caritas. And so I am here because I provide support for the small business community. And I wanted to make sure I'm here so that I could chime in on any resources and also be a resource for the Goldman Sachs family.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. I have Sung next. Maybe you can correct how I.
Yes, this is Sung Choi. I am president of True Edge Solutions, and we provide project management consulting services for construction and engineering industries. I just finished the women's entrepreneurship program through Bank of America. I learned so much. I've been kind of following Goldman Sachs for the program for 6 months now, because I don't think I'm qualified to apply yet. Because we formed a business in 2019, I was working partially between my corporate job and the business.
I'm going to have to ask you to, and why are you interested in the program?
Because I want to learn more about the business aspect, because there's so much about marketing or financing or.
Okay, great, good. You'll learn about every aspect.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Suri next.
This is Berta Fuentes. Suri did not join today. And I'm the one that probably could be taking this program if accepted. So I work for BombBlock. That's the name of the company. We are a software developer. We have some offices here in the US and in India, and looking at expansion. My interest on this program is basically to understand more about small businesses and understand, we are in the expansion mode. So I think this would be a good foundation for that process.
Great, wonderful. Is there someone that came in later that I didn't get? Okay. If not, then what I'm going to do is share my screen, and we're going to get into the meat of it. By the way, this is one of my favorite parts, is meeting all the businesses and hearing what you do and hearing your stories and your goals. So here we go. Okay, so the 10,000 Small Businesses program is really unlike any school or any class that you might have thought of. It's really a hands-on, practical business education where you learn tools that you can bring back to your company right away. And these tools are across all aspects of building, sustaining, and having a business thrive. Finance, marketing, operations, people were talking about business development, all aspects. If you think you know something already, you will learn more. And what I really liked about this program is it's not totally conventional, in that you will learn negotiation skills, you'll learn leadership skills, and those are often not taught in a traditional business school curriculum. So, a personal story here. I had been a finance major in college, and you would think that I would have learned everything about looking at financial statements and be very comfortable. But really, it wasn't until the money and metrics module of the Goldman Sachs program that financial statements really came alive to me, because we all applied our own revenues and our own cost of goods sold to create or calculate our own profitability and learn our own cash flow. Everything was very, very real. And so they came alive to me. I said, wow, what have I been doing all this time? I was one of these people that used to go to my online banking to see how much money I could spend. And now I use the tools that we learned to actually look at profitability and cash flow. So the program is based, as I said earlier, at the Community College of Philadelphia. And when you enroll, you'll be part of a cohort of about 30 other small business owners that are all facing the exact same challenges that you are. That is one of the big eye-openers that I had coming out of this program. And the bond that's created among all of us, no matter what our industries were or anything about us, was amazing. And we all learned so much. In my growth group, which is a small, you have 30 people, and then you sit at a specific table where you really get to know the people in your growth group and really become aligned with them. I sat with a veterinary clinic, a counseling clinic, a restaurant owner, and a book publisher, and then my company, me. We do business to business outreach. And you would think there's nothing in common, but I learned so much about leadership from the restaurant owner and operations from the veterinary clinic and also from everyone else across the 30-person cohort. Businesses need funding to grow. And this program, the Goldman Sachs program, is geared towards introducing you to different sources of capital and helping you discern which is best for you. Now, I had been completely afraid of taking on debt. I grew up in this family that said, don't borrow on your credit cards, don't spend more than you earn, don't have any debt. And I didn't do that. So I was growing so slowly. And when I graduated, I tripled my line of credit with the SBA. And that along with the growth plan that you're going to hear about in a moment, that enabled me to have the confidence to invest in growing my business. So Babson College, I don't know if anyone on this call has ever heard of Babson College. I had never heard of them, but it is the country's leading entrepreneurship college. And they have created the curriculum specifically for the Goldman Sachs program. And they also screen and approve every single faculty member, and the faculty are experts in their field. They are not ivory tower professors. They are people who actually do what it is that they're teaching. The most powerful outcome of the Goldman Sachs program is that fact that you will leave with a documented growth plan, a 5-year growth plan that you can take back to your business and implement. This is a growth plan that is specifically geared for you. And I attribute 30% of the growth that I mentioned earlier to the implementation of my growth plan, which was to become better known in the healthcare industry and known as the firm to go to if someone wants to access a decision maker within a hospital system or within a clinic, to be able to introduce what it is that the company offers. That's what we do, and that's what we've become known because of the growth plan. And of course, you're going to be part of a national alumni of 12,000 small business owners that connect with each other. We have an app so you can find different individuals and stay in touch. And one of the sessions that I was on earlier had someone who had graduated from the program. She opened up a new building. She used that app and the network to identify her architect, her builder, the person who does the furniture supplies, the interior design person. So this just shows how the network is leveraged by other graduates of the 10,000 Small Businesses program. The program is nationwide, and there are 19 education sites. We are really, really lucky to be part of within the 2-hour radius that's required to the Philadelphia site. And then there's other sites that help small businesses with capital. If there's a small business, if you know of one that wants to participate in this program, but they're outside that 2-hour radius, then they can participate in a national program, which is a blended program of being virtual and then some on-site. But you can see from this map and what I just said that this is a powerful national program where the Goldman Sachs Foundation is investing in small businesses to help them grow and to help them create jobs. So I find that incredibly powerful. And as you know, we talk about 10,000 small businesses, and now you just heard me say 12,000 small businesses. So it keeps on going because it has proven successful. And that's why I think that you're lucky, because can you imagine if you were one of the people going into the first session? You might not know that this actually works, but for 12 years, cohort after cohort, year after year, site after site, not all of these sites were there in the very beginning, they expanded over time. The program has proven successful to help small businesses learn to grow. And you can see the names of the co-chairs. These are individuals that are prominent in business and have proven also themselves the ability to conceive of a business and to build businesses and sustain businesses. So I say, with individuals like these behind the program, the Goldman Sachs Foundation backing it, the curriculum by Babson College, and the fact that it's free, it really doesn't get any better than that. So I want to take a brief moment to talk about the personal transformation that I felt and that my company felt going through the program. So I told you that I was afraid of taking on any kind of debt. So I had been 15 years in business before enrolling in the Goldman Sachs program. I had started with just myself, a desk, a chair, a computer, a phone, no capital, no Rolodex, and I actually entered a business that I didn't really know much about. And therefore, I was growing year after year, trying to learn, also just investing whatever profits I had for the next year's growth. And I felt at year 15 that I was just fighting an uphill battle and I needed help. So I joined the program, and at the culmination of the program, I was awarded 2 different contracts that I had been working on, but that I may not actually have taken on had I not completed this program. Because through the program, I realized the importance of identifying opportunities and taking opportunities, and also the fact that I was no longer working in my business, but I was working on my business. And I took on those opportunities that were really scary to take on for a small business like mine. And as a result, you heard about the awards that we've won. And the one that I'm actually most proud of is the fact that we have been awarded Best Places to Work, named Best Places to Work for 3 years in a row in the Philadelphia area. And I really believe that one of the reasons I went into business was to create an environment where employees would want to come to work. And obviously that proved to be true. But the Goldman Sachs program taught me the importance of not being in the weeds, of thinking broader, thinking beyond the day-to-day, and really understanding my responsibility as a CEO to drive the business forward, not just hope it would move forward, but to be actively driving the business forward. In the past, I was the person who vacuumed the floors and took out the trash. But as soon as we started making more money, I delegated those tasks and I created a leadership team, delegated to them as well. And that enabled us to grow further because I wasn't just the bottleneck for every decision that had to be made. And I looked forward, and I have never stopped doing that. And I attribute that to the Goldman Sachs program, and also that personal sense of responsibility to the Goldman Sachs program. So a big eye opener to me is that it doesn't matter what industry you're in or what your education level is. All these small businesses face the exact same challenges. So I say, if you are a GED or a PhD, it doesn't matter. We all were the same. My cohort was diverse in ethnicity, age, gender, industry, education, years in business, and we had nonprofits and for-profits, and we all faced the same challenges and learned the same and bonded the same. What got us there was our drive and our willingness to learn, and I'm emphasizing learn, how to grow our businesses. And everyone wants their business to grow. You could sit around, I wanted my business to grow for 15 years, but it wasn't until I learned to grow my business that things started really changing. So you obviously all have the same drive. You wouldn't be on this call today. It's your drive and your willingness to learn to grow that's going to be able to take you to the next level as well. So I've mentioned a couple times increasing revenues and becoming a job creator. That is how the Goldman Sachs program measures its own success. And 70% of graduates increase revenues within the first 6 months of graduation. 50% create new jobs. And this is about 30% higher than the national average. That simply cannot be a coincidence in my book. Jointly, all of the graduates have a combined revenue stream of 14 billion and 200 individuals in the workforce. I think that's incredibly powerful. So what does it take to be eligible for the program? You have to be an owner or a co-owner of your business. Be in operations for at least 2 years with annual revenues in 2020 of above 75,000, and at least 2 employees. One can be you, and the other can be comprised of several individuals who are employees that make up one full-time equivalent, or contract workers that make up one full-time equivalent, but you need 2 employees. And also, equally importantly, this desire to grow and to create jobs. If you think that you don't qualify, I recommend you go ahead and apply, because you will get your name in the system. Someone will follow up with you. You will be recognized as someone who wants to go through this program. If you think, because I'm going to talk to you in a little while about what the commitment is from a time perspective, if you think that you are not ready to make the commitment, I say put your application in anyway. You can defer to another cohort. This is an opportunity that's really amazing, to have someone invest in your business, believe in you and invest in your business. And I can't speak highly enough of the program and really encourage everyone to apply. I do want to say that if you think you don't qualify from a revenue perspective, the revenue levels are this right now cut. They used to be double the 75,000. But because of COVID and because of the Goldman Sachs program's commitment to diversity in all areas, including industry, and knowing that a lot of industries have been hard hit by COVID, they have reduced the annual revenue. And that has not impacted at all the quality of the program, the sharing, and the level of participation by the small business owners that are coming through at this point. So the Community College of Philadelphia does put on this program, and they have 3 cohorts each year. There's one from that we're talking about now, that's January through May, and then there's May through August, August through December. I was in the May through August. And each requires about 100 hours of on-site learning, person-to-person learning, that where you're sitting at CCP in the classroom. That might seem kind of onerous to you, but to me, I simply carved out the time, because you'll get the curriculum in advance, and we'll talk about that in a little while. Amy can share the curriculum with you. You can carve out the time and then make your work day something a little shorter, and know that you are going to be working on your business the rest of the time while you're going through the program. And in fact, that, as I alluded to earlier, the fact that I had been working on my business when these opportunities came to me, I was able then to transfer this on the business from the Goldman Sachs program directly to working on these 2 initiatives that I brought to fruition at the company. So you will probably never go back to working in the business. You will always be carving out that time. And this is a really good way to start. There's 9 modules, and you can read the names here. The names are kind of unique, but it's a lot about traditional business aspects of operations, sales, business development, marketing, leadership. But there's also 3 clinics, and the clinics are the negotiation clinics, financial statements, and lending. So the clinics are typically given a half day during the week. The modules are typically always delivered in the January cohort on a Friday. So you come early in the morning, around 8:30, you're going to go till about 5 in the evening, and then a half day Thursday. Now, I kind of hesitate to even tell you this, because I didn't know that. I didn't know the time, how time consuming it was going to be when I enrolled. And it does seem kind of scary when you're sitting where you are, but it is not scary. You're going to want to go. You're going to want to be with the people that you're sitting with and sharing in everyone's success. You stand up every day and you talk about a contract that you've won. When I got some of my contracts, I stood up and everyone cheered for me. It's just really, really cool, the bond that's created and the fact that you want to go through this. So I want to tell you about a key learning experience that I had as part of the Goldman Sachs program. And it happened in a very untraditional way. We were all charged with coming to class and presenting to lenders why they should take a risk on our businesses, why they should lend to us. And some of the lenders were real lenders from the community that you would not want to embarrass yourself in front of. And some were just pretend they were part of Community College of Philadelphia or their buddies who came in and pretended to be a lender. I hadn't read the instructions correctly and I hadn't prepared. I really fell flat. I could not tell anyone why they should take a risk on my business. And I wasn't articulate. I just really fell flat and failed. And that has been seared in my mind ever since then. And I have never not prepared for a presentation since then. And if that's the way I had to learn, that's great. Many of us do learn from mistakes, but there may be other ways that you learn, and there's lots of opportunities to continue learning, even if you do have to learn from a mistake that's seared in your brain like mine. So at the end, the growth plan that you develop is specifically for your business. You're going to take everything you've learned throughout the whole 14 weeks and put it together in a documented growth plan that's unique for your business. And it's strategic in that there's a long-term goal, but it's also tactical in that there's short-term check-ins of what you're expecting to make sure you're on track. Some of you might have an idea right now. I think some of you actually mentioned ideas when we were doing the introductions of what you'd like to do and you just maybe haven't had the time to document it or think it all the way through. You'll get that time. You'll get 14 weeks of helping to put together your growth plan. If you're like me, you might just be wishing that you could grow, but have no idea what you're going to do to grow. Well, that was me, and I was forced to come up with an idea, which I told you was to be positioned as a leader in healthcare, and then think about how was I going to do that. That's what this growth plan is all about. And it's not dictated to you. It's not abstract. You will get help every step of the way, but it's something that you can take back to your business and take your business to the next level. This slide essentially says the same thing in slightly different way, but that everything drives towards that growth plan. But I really want to highlight that there's words in these boxes that you wouldn't necessarily learn in a business curriculum, like attracting top talent. How important is that? How to identify new business opportunities. You don't just identify a business opportunity because you have to graduate from the Goldman Sachs program. You identify new business opportunities always on an ongoing basis. And this program helps you learn how to identify opportunities. And then other aspects like negotiations or presentation skills, which I mentioned earlier. Everything drives towards that comprehensive growth plan. I like this slide because it does talk about what the Goldman Sachs program's commitment is to you and what your commitment is to the 10,000 Small Businesses program. So the most important commitment is the fact that this is a full scholarship. It's free. Someone is saying your business is worth it. Someone said to me, my business is worth it. Now that is really powerful and motivating. It's a full scholarship because someone believes that if they invest in me, I will increase my revenues, I will create jobs. At the same time, you have to attend all learning sessions. There's no excuses. And in the beginning, I was not aware of that. And about 3 days or 4 days after starting this program, my son graduated from architecture school at Temple. And I said, oh, I have to leave half an hour early. Or I think it was only half an hour. Maybe it was 45 minutes early. It was not that I was leaving the whole day early. It was leaving 45 minutes early. And the only way I could get out is to stand up and apologize to the whole class that I was leaving early and that I would never do so again. And I don't think anyone else ever missed anything unless, of course, they were sick, but not for anything, any other reason. And I certainly never missed ever again. Another benefit is that you will get a growth coach. The growth coach is like a personal coach that you can go over your growth plan with. You can go over all of the modules that you're learning. If you paid for this coach on the outside, it would be something like $1,000 or multiple $1,000, but it's free. And as I said, the Goldman Sachs program, the foundation, measures its success by the individual graduates' ability to increase revenues and create jobs. So every 6 months after you graduate, for about 2.5 years, you'll get a survey, an online survey, and you'll have to input data that shows your progress. And that's how the Goldman Sachs program knows whether they are being successful and whether it's worth to continue to invest. Okay, the application. The application has 2 parts. The first part is really simple. So I do encourage you, after this session is over, just to go ahead and fill out part 1. It's you'll talk about your company, yourself, just a few pieces of information, and it's very, very straightforward. Then you will be asked if you meet the eligibility criteria to complete part 2. Part 2 is a little longer. It's not hard. I don't even remember filling out part 2, so it couldn't have been very hard. But you will come in for an interview and you will have to give your financials, your financial statements. When I went for my interview, there were people from the Goldman Sachs Foundation and from Babson College. And I was just amazed that they were taking the time to interview us as applicants and approve us. So that shows how serious this program is to the Goldman Sachs Foundation. Okay, again, the website is www.10ksbapply. I want to reinforce that if you think you don't qualify, go ahead and apply anyway. If you're fearful of the 100 in-classroom hours, go ahead and apply. You can defer to another time. But I do assure you that 12,000 small businesses have gone through this. 12,000 small businesses have graduated and have all dedicated 100 in-classroom hours and have learned to grow their business. So you can too. And when you graduate, you'll be part of this network where 88% of the graduates do business with each other. So here's some success stories. You probably all know Valerie Cofield from your organization, EMSDC. And I don't know if you know Eric Truxon and is it Franchon Pryor, but you see that each of these are in completely different industries. Your nonprofit organization that you belong to or that you're part of, an electrical contractor, a hair studio, but each 3 of these have created jobs, won new contracts, and increased revenues. So this shows the amazing power of graduating from the program. And each time that Amy and I give one of these sessions, we are given a new slide from CCP of participants in the Philadelphia area program. This is just Philadelphia. And we have about 28 presentations that we're doing. And that's 28 times 3. And that's only a tip of the iceberg of the success stories from the Goldman Sachs program. So I'm going to unshare my screen and I'm going to ask for any questions that you might have at this point. So I'd like to open it up. And if you don't have any questions, I can go over what some other people have asked in the past. So why don't I start doing that, but please interrupt me if you do think of a question, okay? People have asked whether it's hard to carve out time, and I did answer that. And can you defer to a future cohort? You can. They also ask specifically about the curriculum, the days of the week, and how long exactly you required. And Amy does have copies of the schedule, which she will.
So I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm in Minnesota. So would I be like virtual attendance, or how would that work?
Oh, wow.
I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Let me, did you see whether there was one, a program near you when we were looking at
It
the map?
said Minnesota in there, but I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what the location is.
Well, Amy, why don't we take a look at that? And can you put your, do we have the email? Who are, you're not Suri, right?
No, I'm not
No,
sorry.
Bertha.
Bertha.
Yep.
Berta.
BERTA. Okay. I do not have your email if you wanted to put it in chat or something.
Okay.
But
Do you want my work email or my personal
whatever
email?
is best to reach you.
Okay.
Well, that's amazing. We have someone, well, you did say you were, I think you said you were, no, you were tri-state, right? We have someone here from Minnesota. Terrific, far-reaching. Well, also,
You get my email?
I did receive. Thank you.
Okay.
if anyone else would like a copy of the schedule, Amy can give that to you as well. So you can put your email in the chat. I want to give you a tip. When you fill out, and there's a personal statement, when you fill out your personal statement, please talk about your desire to learn to grow, because that's what this program is all about, learning to grow. And if you can identify anything by reading the website of the Goldman Sachs program, 10KSB Apply, then use any pieces of information that you have gleaned to show why you want to go into the program and how you think that will help you learn to grow your business. It's important for the people that you're going to be interviewing with and that are going to be looking at your application to know that you know something about the program in advance. And I think that's all I have. I could go on a little bit more, but I think what we're going to do first is first see if there's any other questions and then take you to the screen with the contact information. So I'm going to share the screen with the contact information. Now, I don't really know why we are here. Oh, the questions, that's why. Let me go here. Again, we've been saying this the whole time, www.10ksbapply.com, cohort 26. And the deadline is actually October 1st. We've gotten a whole day extension. It is rolling admission, and we maybe are on our, I don't know, 20th presentation, might not be quite that high, but it seems like it. So there are applicants in the system already. So I do encourage you to at least complete part 1. And again, the classes start in January. I'd like to stress outreach-amy@ccp.edu. If you have questions, and our number is 267-352-9971. I'm going to leave that up there. I don't know if this applies to anyone, but I'm going to tell a funny story. We were on a session where someone had graduated from the program, and she wanted to emphasize that it didn't really matter how sophisticated your business was or where you were in level of growth, as long as you met the criteria. And she said there was a dog walking business owner who kept all of the receipts in a paper bag. And she couldn't believe it, because when they had to put together the financial statements, she was bringing out these little receipts. But she got something out of it, and the others learned from her as well. So I thought that was pretty humorous. I don't know if it applies to anyone on this particular info session, but regardless of where you are in your growth trajectory, this program will offer you something. So I'm going to stop sharing at this point. before I turn it back to Christine, I want to say on behalf of Amy, me, the Goldman Sachs program, and CCP, thank you so much for your time. I hope that I've inspired you to fill out an application and learn from this program. And I thank you all for your time. Christine.
Well, thank you. That was certainly some great information. Thank you, Valerie and Amy, for introducing our business owners to the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Program. I hope everyone will deem this program good for their businesses and will take the next step to apply for the program. Or if you didn't want to share your questions in this forum, contact Amy and Valerie with the information that they just provided you for. Before we go, I want to invite everyone to our Roar Conference and Matchmaker next week, September 21st to the 23rd. We have live yoga at the Art Museum, virtual lightning talks on hot topics, big discussions on greening the supply chain, and on why historically underrepresented supplier inclusion is still relevant. To close out each day, we also have pop-up receptions in 3 areas of our territory. To find out more and to register, go to www.emsdc.org. Hope you all think about it and join us. With that, thanks again, Valerie, Amy, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.